find him. I can't, like, get to it. Just gonna pull this. Oh, here we go. Can't activate it underwater. Is the fire still going? Yeah, it is. Even under all this blood water. Alright, that was my bad. My B. I think I got it now.
I plunged the Reaver into that furnace and forged the blade with elemental fire. With the Reaver thus imbued, I was now armed to unlock the elemental barrier and rescue Janos from his executioners.
Well, that only took me like 12 minutes, so I think Janos Ordering could have held out for 12 minutes. A less dumb person could have done that, you know, way faster.
still beats.
The fiend intends to bury us alive. Raziel, we must get out of here.
Remember the sword!
Forgive me. I'm sorry. I failed you.
No, Razia. Perhaps this was my true purpose. Simply to save your life this once.
While I have taken yours.
Embrace your destiny, Razia. You must reclaim the Reaver. It was forged for you and you alone. Without it, there is no hope.
As I backed away from Janos's body, I was overwhelmed by a sense of self-loathing so deep I could barely contain it. In that instant, I rejected all that I ever was, and embraced the role Janos had safeguarded for me so patiently throughout the centuries. I knew then what I had to do, the task for which I was uniquely prepared. I would pursue the Sarafan dogs to their loathsome fortress and avenge Janos Ordrin's murder. Mobius would pay dearly for his treachery, and my Sarafan brethren would reap the horrors they had sown. I would retake the stolen Reaver, which was rightfully mine. And finally, when all these debts had been paid, I would reclaim Janos Ordrin's heart from their filthy, unworthy hands. If the heart was truly imbued with the power to restore vampiric unlife, its highest purpose was clear to me. I would restore the heart to Janos, and thus undo the vile crime committed by my abominable former self. So, these demonic pests were not merely the product of Nosgoth's corruptive future, for here they were, hurtling back over 5 centuries to pursue me. These creatures, I suspected, were minions of the unseen forces that had hoped to control me. This was the tangible expression of their displeasure. These demons were unleashed as the penalty for my disobedience.
God, I hate these enemies so much. I mean, normally I would just run past them, but you can't because they just block your way.
Let me enlighten you.
Poor Raziel.
Poor Reaver. Be able to take much more damage.
Get him.
I can't deal with it.
There he is, the savior of Nosgoth.
Come on, I remember there was like... I don't know. Here we go. Fire seems to be the strongest attack element. Oh my fucking... Stop! Attack him. Leave me the hell alone. Oh my god! An action game, this is not. Holy shit. I'm really not bad at action games. Just this game's combat system's so fucking awkward. I like how he did almost a complete 180 as soon as I got behind him. Very nice. But they'll ignore him and attack me all at the same time. The Demented Salad? Who's that? Is that like some sort of like a bot? You know, because I run into bots occasionally. But I figure that's just like normal Twitch experience. Oh, you're a speedrunner. Well, what's the world record for Soul Reaver 2? Like, how fast can you complete the game? God dang it. I do not like these guys.
Shall not pass.
I too like the Lord of the Rings. Oh, God. .43-ish. I'm flying. Ow. There we go. Got rid of him. What are some advanced techs for skipping areas in this game? If you don't mind sharing. Oh, okay. Yeah, because I noticed that whenever I save, there's like an in-game timer. You can stop that. Did not know that. Although I'm curious as to how you would do that.
Failed me, Raziel.
I wonder, Old One. Did you truly resurrect me, or were you simply there when I awakened from my torment in the abyss? I suspect you found me merely convenient, dropped in your lair by Kain, indestructible for some reason, a durable and gullible tool for you to manipulate. This one thing I readily admit. I have been used by others time and again, but always I seem to stray from their path. What is it about me, demon, that makes me such an unreliable instrument? Why do I survive one trial after another, on and on, in an endless succession of humiliating deaths and resurrections? It seems there is much more to my destiny and my history than I know. Perhaps more than you know as well.
God.
To change his destiny. What a fool.
Time to run away. Yeah, sure. I don't mind. Ow. Well, actually, look at my phone to see if I can look at that while I'm playing. If I remember where I put my phone. Hey, here it is. I mean, it's not hard, it's just not very good. Like, I'm used to playing, you know, a lot more competently made action games. I mean, I'm not having a hard time, it's just... I just really don't like it. It's kind of awkward. I still prefer the combat system of Blood Omen. Like, in Blood Omen, you got tons of cool spells, and it wasn't really that hard to fight. And you got really good weapons and, like, shields and stuff. I don't know. You know? I mean, it's not a deal breaker. You know, I played games with worse combat. Although I didn't play them for very long. Ugh. Yeah, it seems like it's a much improved game. At least in that capacity. That's in case I want to go back up there.
There's another one.
Really? That's concerning. Oh, fixed camera angles. I love Resident Evil. Although Resident Evil isn't the only game that has fixed camera angles. It's just the one I know the most about. Oh, man. So that means if you move in a certain position, it'll, like, change your camera angle. Ooh, sounds rough.
Free your soul, demon.
No, you don't. If the lake's frozen, how am I gonna get this door open?
Free your soul, demon.
Ah, here we go. There's like a fire chamber thing that I need to get. I'm gonna pass that up. Is there one around here? Yeah, there it is. Took a little while for the particle effect to load in. Get over here. It's not just my imagination. The different Soul Reavers do, like, elemental, like, they do different amounts of damage. It seems like the fire one is, like, the best for doing damage. Or is it just my imagination? Okay, so when the Reaver bar is almost all the way full, that's when it does its maximum amount of damage. Alright, gotta get rid of these guys.
Free your soul, demon.
Got him. It does it?
Here it comes.
Yeah, I know the animation for stabbing her didn't line up there quite right.
There's one. Return to hell.
got all my health back.
Suddenly and inexplicably, I discovered the Reaver suspiciously laid across my path. Again, I sensed nothing of that temporal distortion, the peculiar sense of displacement I had felt when I encountered the Reaver in William's chapel. Cornered here with the blade, I suffered the same nameless dread that I had experienced when Janos first presented the Reaver to me. I felt at once repelled by the blade, and yet overwhelmingly compelled to seize it.
So, Raziel, here we are, finally. You have no choice but to confront me now, and I am not so foolish as I've let you believe. We have business to conclude.
You knew I would lead the Sarafan to Janos, you vile bastard. You've been orchestrating my every move. My destiny is an amusement to you.
It was fun while it lasted. I think not, Raziel. Malik, do not let this creature leave. He poses a danger to the Circle. Poor, deluded Raziel. Did you somehow imagine you had the guile to change history on me? I'm the Time Streamer. I knew your every intention before you did, you imbecile.
They can feast on your corpses!
Lord Mobius, there is trouble within. The Circle is under
Hold
attack.
fast, Malik. This one is the real danger to us.
What are you trying to concoct here, Mobius?
You toxic creature. Did you imagine I'd simply allow you to run loose? Corrupting everything you encounter?
I admit that I've underestimated you to this point, Mobius. It's a mistake I won't repeat.
Wrong again, Raziel. Now, Malik. Bolt the door.
It's the exact moment that Vorador takes the
Mobius
Circle of Nine.
effectively disarmed me, leaving me with only one choice of weapon. And yet I confess, it was not the lack of options, but blind rage that made me take up the Reaver. In my fury, it felt as though my hand had acted of its own will. And now, that same hand clutched the hilt with unyielding strength, and I felt a constrained tingling, a remote but palpable sense of longing, as the disabled Wraithblade tried vainly to embrace its physical twin.
Where the fuck is Kain when all this stuff is going on? Because didn't he come to the past too? I saw him out now. Oh, maybe we'll find out in Blood Omen 2.
Come to take your revenge, demon. Back to hell with you.
I recognize these two as my former brethren, in life as Sarafan, and in unlife as Kain's vampire sons. Melchiah and Zephon, the weakest of Kain's brood. These bastards had no idea what future lay in store for them, how they would become the very thing they so despised. The Reaver hummed with ravenous anticipation. Janos had called it a vampiric blade, endowed with the power to drain its victims of their lifeblood. I was eager to see what the Reaver would do to these two.
Oh wow. So Raziel kills all of them. Twice! Twice! He kills them twice. Ow. Stop it. gonna kill him, no problem. Die! Ow. Oh! Oh! Ganging up on me. Yeah, I noticed that. I would have been dead by now. Die.
As Melchiah and Zephon,
Yeah, that was pretty
fought for my
satisfying.
blade, I felt the Reaver's bloodthirst as keenly as I ever had when I was still a vampire. I could sense the boundary between us dissolving. The Reaver was consumed with my rage, and I was intoxicated by its bloodlust. The blade had a vitalizing effect on me. My physical energy no longer decayed over time, and the wounds inflicted by my foes healed almost instantly. The Reaver had made me invincible.
Is that over here? I kind of lost my sense of direction. Oh, man, these are some pretty swanky ass locks for a monastic order.
Have you come to reclaim the monster's black heart?
You'll have to get to us first.
My former brethren, Duma and Rahab, confronted me next. This all seemed so elegantly choreographed.
They were covering each other pretty
Exhilarated by
well.
the Reaver, I was
Duma.
struck with revelations. I could finally appreciate the delicious irony of Kain's blasphemous private joke, and I reveled as I colluded with him across the centuries. For it was I who put these bastards in their tomb, thus providing the corpses for Kain to raise as his vampire sons a millennium from now.
Yeah, focus on Mr. Sword Guy. Yeah, the old hit and run. Oh, wow. Yeah, got him.
Get back to the called from, demon?
And here at last was my brother Turel, who along with Duma would bear me into the abyss without questioning Kain's command. So dutiful and righteous, even as a vampire. I guess some habits die hard. The vampire Turel had eluded my vengeance. The Sarafat Turel would not.
Ooh, okay, buddy. To get, like, good angle and running stab. Yeah, there we go. How you like that? I can be cheesy too, buddy. Yeah, but you don't meet this guy in Soul Reaver. He's like, he just said. I wonder what happened to him. I wonder if the game did they ever talk about what happened to him? And maybe some extended novels, because I remember they made some like Legacy of Kain novels. Ow. Ow. Ah, okay. Ooh, this guy's taking a lot of damage. Die. It's in a non-canon alternate universe. Oh yeah, I did say something about Timeline 4. God dang it. Oh no, wait, this is locked. Yeah, I noticed there aren't any, like, you know, health power-ups or, like, magic power-ups in this game like there were in the first game. The first Soul Reaver. Not that I really spent that much time looking for it, but it was just nice that there was, like, other things to go look for. Unless I'm just missing them. Oh, here we go. It's a confrontation we've been waiting for.
Here we are. You've destroyed my brethren, and now you've come for me. You'll find I'm not such easy prey. I don't want to kill you, but I will if I must. Return the heart to me, and we can end this now. So, you've come to avenge that filthy parasite and reclaim his foul heart. You're a righteous fiend, aren't you? Apparently I am. No, this is where it ends. But you won't be leaving this room. Now, let's finish this. I'll make it mercifully quick. As you did for Janos? No, that beast had eluded us for far too long. It would have been a shame to end him too quickly. It's ironic, really. The great Janos Ordrin turned out to be no challenge at all. Thanks to you. Did you hear his cowardly screams when I tore that black heart out of his carcass?
Trust me, bro. You're gonna thank me for this later. Cheese-tastic. It looks so silly. Ooh.
I renounce you. And so it ends. My history comes full circle. Sensing its twin, the Wraithblade uncoiled itself from me, and instead wound lovingly around its former self. I felt its grip loosen, and as the blade left me, its absence chilled me more than its presence ever had. A foreboding sense of emptiness and loss stole over me, and a terrible revelation gathered like a storm at the edge of my awareness. With all other foes exhausted, the conjoined blades turned themselves on me, and I realized, finally, why I had sensed nothing when Janos offered me the blade. The Reaver was never forged to be a soul-stealing weapon. The ravenous, soul-devouring entity trapped in the blade was, and always had been, me. This is why the blade was destroyed when Kain tried to strike me down. The Reaver could not devour its own soul. The paradox shattered the blade. So, this was my terrible destiny. To play out this purgatorial cycle for all eternity. I could not bear it.
Oh, look, there he is.
Despair overwhelmed me. You.
Are you enjoying this, Kain? Don't fight it, Raziel. Give into it. Was this your destiny for me all along? Trust me.
I felt myself weakening, unable to hold on any longer. The Reaver was too strong.
Hey, son.
To simply let go. Too great.
I know we haven't seen each other for a while, but I came back. I need some blood.
Sense of vertigo and the familiar displacement. The paradoxical moment when my twinned soul hovered both outside and inside the Reaver blade. This was the instant. The glimmer of temporal distortion Kain had been counting on all along. This was the edge of the coin. The minute flicker of probability upon which Kain had gambled everything.
Now you are free to reclaim your true destiny, Raziel.
Behind Kain's eyes, I could see new memories blooming and dying as history labored to reshuffle itself around this monumental obstruction. And I could see by the dawning horror on his face that perhaps we had strained history too far this time. That by trying to alter my fate, he may have introduced a fatal paradox.
My God. The Hilden. We walked right into their trap. Raziel, Janos must stay dead.
But Kain's warning was lost as I slipped into the spirit realm, too weak to maintain my physical form. And there, waiting for me as always, was the Reaver, the Wraithblade, my own soul, twinned and bound eternally to me. And I realized that I could never escape my terrible destiny. I had merely postponed it. History abhors a paradox.
Wait a minute, is that the end of the game? Black screen. I don't see anything. Yep, okay. I was a little bit confused there for a second, because that actually did feel like the end of the game when you started killing your brothers. It's like, you know, must not be that much left. Wow, I'm actually surprised at how short that was. I'm gonna have to like kill the game task manager. I'm pretty sure this is where the credits play, but you know, this game glitches out a lot, especially when OBS is running. Yeah, you know what? That's fair for an action adventure game, I suppose. It just felt like, you know, Blood Omen was a lot longer. Even Soul Reaver was a lot longer. But, you know, those are older games. You know, older games were a lot longer. Something to drink out of my refrigerator. It's orange juice. I'm thirsty. Yeah, but over 2 hours of cutscenes. You know, I like those cutscenes. I'm glad Raziel got a lot more speaking roles in this game, because, you know, he has a much more fleshed out personality in this game. There weren't as many, like, block puzzles, too, which the first game had a ton of block puzzles, which I really didn't like. And if you take even the slightest amount of damage, your Soul Reaver doesn't just go away. Yeah, optional collectible areas. I know I spent a lot of time finding that stuff. Alright, well. I have a couple other games I'm gonna finish up before I move on to the other two Legacy of Kain games. But that's it for now. I'll see you later, Box. Yeah, push this block, turn this thing. Oh. Exciting stuff. Yeah, see you, bro.